feel like maybe we should say a few words or something. After all, these are the Baron's remains.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to say goodbye to the Baron von Kiefer. And though he's already walked through the valley of the shadow of death, today we must ask not what this planter box can do for him, but what he can do for this planter box. Ashes to ashes, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Now dump that sucker.
Touching, Frederick. Truly touching. That didn't do anything. Flat.
What'd you expect? It's ash. Noble ash, but still just ash nonetheless.
It's a bunch of levers. But whatever it is they're supposed to do isn't working.
They're actually used to make the theater backdrops go up and down, and they used to work just fine.
How do you know this?
Because the current backdrop has a giant sun on it. I used to wait until Shroudy was walking by the theater, and then pull the lever and make the sun suddenly appear. It used to scare the crap out of him.
What do you mean, used to?
Well, I kinda broke it. I was sitting there waiting for Shroudy to walk by, and I started to feel hungry, so I went and got some nut and fruit snacks out of my cage. While I was happily munching away, a couple of them slipped through my wings and fell down inside the control panel. Ever since then, I haven't been able to pull the levers.
Can't you reach in there and grab your nuts and dried fruits?
Unfortunately, the holes in the panel are too narrow for me to fit my wings through.
You need to learn to be less messy when you eat. I sure hope we don't need to use these for some reason. But considering how things have gone so far, I'm sure we will. It's a mythical horse whose horns are said to grant 3 wishes to whomever touches them.
Actually, that's a male deer. And they don't grant wishes. That's a 9th level spell. You're thinking of a unicorn whose horn is said to neutralize poison, along with many other powers that depend on who's running the game. Even if Draxylvanian unicorns could grant wishes, the material components of such a spell...
Wait, stop! I have something very important to say. Mona is bored. It's the head of a most unfortunate little piggy.
It's actually a boar, like its former owner. And really, how many pigs have not met an unfortunate end? It's not like pig milk is in high demand.
It appears to be the decapitated head of a stuffed animal?
They killed Smuggle Bunny! You bastards! It's the decapitated head of a bear.
How barbaric!
But the taxidermy is very sophisticated. Note the flawless preservation of his dying roar. It's a particularly large squirrel with fangs.
That's a beaver, bug brain.
Lame. Giant vampire squirrels would have been way cooler.
There's nothing off stage. It's absolutely, completely empty. There's no reason whatsoever to go back there.
But maybe we should...
Trust me once for a change. It looks like a poker and a brazier full of hot coals. Obviously, this is another one of Shroudy's torture devices. Judging from the smell in the air, I'd say it's gotten some use lately.
Is that what that is? Oh, man! I thought maybe somebody was cooking hamburgers down here. My mouth started watering as soon as we came down the steps.
It's a large mace hanging high up on the wall. From the looks of it, I'd say it's still in pretty good condition.
Mace, huh? Is that what it's called? I thought it was called anesthesia.
I bet a big, heavy hitting thing might be useful somewhere, but I'm not going to carry it around. I'll keep it in mind, though. It appears to be some sort of hideous torture device. I wonder where the Baroness would find such a thing.
Maybe she went shopping at that trendy new Swedish torture furniture superstore. I've heard they have a wide selection of inexpensive torture gear, and when you walk through the store, they have a bunch of different dungeon rooms set up so you can actually see how your torture device would look once you take it home.
That's a rather odd-looking item. I wonder what it's used for.
I'll take a wild guess. How about grinding stuff?
It's some sort of torture device. It looks like my Aunt Votre Mère. It's my bed.
You mean it's your coffin, right?
Oh, Frederick, you and your vampire obsession. It's my bed, nothing more.
You say tomato, I say tomato. You say bed, I say it's a velvet-lined pine box that corpses sleep in. I call that a coffin.
I still say it's my bed. And come to think of it, I really need to wash my sheets. For some reason, each morning when I wake up, I am laying on a pile of dirt.
I'm no expert, but I think the dirt is something you vampire types need for some reason. Something about a grave. I swear I read that somewhere.
I'm no vampire, so I won't be needing this dirt. I don't need to be dragging my bed.
Coffin.
I'm going to ignore that. Anyway, I don't need my bed right now, but it's good to know that it's here in case I need it later. It's Shroudy's coffin. I can't believe we sleep in the same room.
Separate coffins, at least. Sometimes you need to look on the bright side of things.
It won't budge. The coffin has some kind of combination lock on the side of it. Eek! Rats!
You mean Frankie and the gang? Nah, don't worry about 'em, Mona. That rat pack is a bunch of good fellas.
Well, if you say so. Those are some rats inhabiting the crypt.
It's a rather bizarre-looking fountain.
Is it just me, or is that fountain actually wearing sunglasses?
Well, maybe he's cool. Because when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day. Unless you're a vampire, of course. Then the sun shines on you only once, and you burst into flames.
It's some sort of torture device. It looks like my Aunt Votre Mère. Hello there.
Well, hello there, dearie. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You can talk.
You can talk!
Oh, don't be frightened, my dears. I won't harm you.
Who are you?
My name is Barbara, although my friends call me Barb. Get it, Barb?
Yeah, I think we get it. Bob, as in a sharp metal device that slowly and painfully rends flesh as it gets pushed into some poor bastard's body? That's downright hilarious. Well, maybe that guy doesn't find it so funny.
Oh, just ignore him. That.
Aside from torturing people, what do you do down here?
Well, I'm actually the torture chamber stenographer. It's my job to record what's being said down here when Shroudy or the Baroness are, in a serious discussion with her, guests.
Who was the guess you speak of?
The Baroness would search all over the world for priests and scholars, or even wizards and witches, and invite them to stay at the castle, all expenses paid.
Let me guess. She slipped them a Mickey, and instead of the spa, they ended up down here.
Right. Then she would ask me to take down everything I heard for future reference. When she was done, some went into the pit, and a few she took somewhere else. Maybe another dungeon somewhere. I don't know. As you can imagine, I don't get around much.
What does being an Iron Maiden pay?
Pay? Oh no, I have to do this. I'm not sure why. Torturing people does seem horrible and just downright unfriendly and all, but we all have to follow the paths our creators have laid down for us. My path in this life is to slowly squeeze the life out of people and record their thoughts on the matter. Simple, true, but still rewarding. Settle down or Mama isn't going to be happy.
What kind of stuff have you heard? Could you tell us?
Oh, sure. I don't think that would harm anything. I like to think of myself as an open book. And speaking of books, that's what the Baroness would usually be asking about. Shroudy, on the other hand, he usually didn't ask anything at all.
Why? Was Shroudy too shy?
No, too sadistic. The one fellow over there without his head, Shroudy really went after. That's right around the time when the Baroness disappeared. Curious thing about that guest.
What?
He didn't bleed at all. Shroudy took one whack at his head and it fell on the floor and shattered like a Ming vase. Very, very odd. Even for around here.
Book? What book?
Oh, yes. The Book of Shrouds was always the topic of discussion for the Baroness. It was mostly various priests, scholars, magicians, historians, and, holy men that the Baroness would bring down here. She was definitely trying to extract knowledge from them about that book.
When was the last time you saw the Baroness?
She was torturing that headless man over there several years ago. After she got the information she wanted, she left the castle in a hurry and never returned.
Do you have this session memoized right before the Baroness left?
Yes, let me see. I believe I have it here. It's been a few years. Here I go. Man from Cabal. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It hurts so much. Ah, I can't take it. Ah.
Do you think you could skip ahead a little bit to where he was actually talking?
Yes, of course. Man from Cabal. Yes, I have the tome you're looking for. It will give you all the secrets to unlocking the book. Baroness, tell me where it is or I'm going to shove this hot poker.
Oh my! Could we please, skip ahead a little bit more?
Oh, certainly. Man from Cabal. The tome is in my camp, buried at the base of a large oak tree near the Vargo Pass crossroads. Baroness, you'd better not be lying to me or when I return you will feel pain as you have never felt it before. Huh. After that, the Baroness disappeared. A few days later, Shroudy came downstairs screaming about a trap. He took an axe and tried to chop the poor fellow's head off. But when the head rolled off, there was no blood. It wasn't a man at all. It was some kind of talking clay statue or some such.
I think it's called a clay golem.
How do you know about that?
Used to play a lot of Dungeons and Dogs. The clay golems dropped a lot of loot and were pretty aggro.
I should have known. Bob, please go on.
Apparently, somebody was laying a trap for the Baroness. And it must have worked, for she never returned.
What did Shroudy do after that?
I believe he searched frantically for months, but he didn't find a single trace of her at Vargo Pass or anywhere else in Draxylvania. Poor little monster. He lost his mommy so young. He was devoted to her, you know. He got lonely and left on holiday soon after that. He came back occasionally with a new female companion, but he seemed to grow tired of each one after a time. Then off he would go again.
Hey, Mona, that may explain why you're here.
Yes, from what I've seen, he likes you best of them so far. Maybe it's because you look so much like her.
Like whom?
Oh, his mother, the Baroness, of course.
What was this cabal you mentioned?
I don't know, but I do recall they all seemed to wear a belt that had a gold circle with a star in the middle and an eye in the middle of the star. The Baroness seemed to really, give them special attention.
How come we have never had the pleasure of talking before?
Well, the Baroness and later Shroudy always told me never to talk to strangers or any guests. But now that they're both gone, I just feel free to talk to you for some reason.
How are you able to talk?
Oh, for the longest time I was scrap metal from a wrecked ship, the SS Woebegone, out of Lake Superior. Then I was sold to Acme Toys, Tools, and Torture Devices in Port Varda. There I was forged and cast and shipped here. Then one Christmas Eve, the Baroness made a wish upon a bright star that I would come to life. And what do you know? A magical fairy came down and granted her wish, and that is how I came to life.
Are you sure that's the way it happened?
Pretty sure.
Do you happen to know the combination to Shroudy's coffin?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know the whole combination, but I am pretty sure the first number is 0, though. Unfortunately, from my position, I can really only see the first number. Wish I could help more. Oh, good idea. My, grumbling stomach thinks you should go ask Ozzy, the fountain gargoyle. He might have had a better vantage point of the combination.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
I should warn you, he is a bit rusty in the head and is sometimes impossible to understand.
Well, I better be going. It's been very nice talking with you.
You too. Shh, hush. Bye-bye.
Hello, Mr. Fountain. How are you doing today?
I think he said, I'd love to chat with you, but it's hard to speak with a high-pressure jet of water emanating from my mouth.
I can imagine. I wonder if there's a way to turn it off somehow.
There aren't any valves to shut off the water that I can see. Maybe they're somewhere else.
Hello?
Hey, hello there yourself, dollface. How you doing today?
Who are you?
My name is Frank, although my friends call me Frankie. I'm here with my associates, Sammy, Joey, and Dean. We've been living in this castle for quite some time. You might say we manage the neighborhood.
How you doing, Frankie?
Hey, look, yous guys, it's the Froadmeister. I told you about him. This crazy guy could do things with his calculator that would make your head spin. You still do that trick, eh, Frody?
Oh, no, Frankie. I've sort of stopped doing stuff like that. I'm laying off the vino now, staying clean, if you know what I mean.
Forget about it. Yo, hey, sorry to hear about the thing with Rocco. You know, he's still looking for you. He and the Belfry boys are still pretty steamed up. You better make it right, and soon. Capiche?
And what about you? Looks like you got yourself a full-on rat pack.
Don't be a wise guy. You trying to be some kind of comedian or something?
Nah, I really think of myself as more of a short, one-eyed song and dance man.
Please forgive him.
Forget about it.
Do you and your associates know the layout of the castle?
Oh, yeah. My associates and I use the old plumbing running through the castle to get from room to room. We pretty much have the run of the place, with the exception of the kitchen.
Why can't you go into the kitchen?
Well, the Baroness's cat hangs out in there. She's taken down a lot of my soldiers. Just the other day, she whacked my cousin Jimmy the Rat Capone.
Not the most inventive nickname I've ever heard.
What are you gonna do? It's a popular name. Everybody wants it. So what am I gonna do?
How come I never met you before?
Well, your master Baron Shroudy wasn't too fond of us, so we laid low until we heard from Edgar the Raven that Shroudy got whacked. Did you order that hit?
What? Me? No! I didn't even know you could order a hit. Or I might have been tempted to order one sooner.
And I've heard you singing too. It's nice, but a bit overwhelming and loud. You need to learn to control it better so you don't blow away your audience.
Gee, thanks. Opera tips from a rat.
An Italian rat? If we Italians know anything, it's opera. You're good. You just need some coaching.
You guys use the pipes, right? We might need some plumbing help.
Yeah, we know this castle's plumbing like the back of our claws.
Do you guys know how to turn off the fountain over there?
Well, we might be able to do that for you. For a price.
Always a price with these guys. Ever heard of altruism?
Yeah, my grandmother had that. Her shaking got so bad we eventually had to hand feed her. This was just before that pie-whacker son of a... got her. So, what about it?
Oh, never mind. What do you want this time?
Well, nothing in particular. Just trade us something of value and we'll fix your pipes. No problem. I'll get Remy the Ratfink to do it for you if we can drag him away from that stupid cookbook he found.
Fine. We'll think of something.
Yeah, you do that. Anything else?
No, that is enough.
Hey, I can never get enough of talking to you, honey pie.
Do you know the combination to Shroudy's coffin?
You know, we never did try to steal his combo. He never had anything we wanted to borrow. But I bet Ozzy over at the water pool or Big Bad Barb over here saw something. Then why not ask them?
Okay, I will. Thanks.
Hey, anything for you, dollface. You got any more questions for Papa Frankie over here?
Bob over there mentioned something about a magic book the Baroness was interested in. Are you familiar with that?
How could we not be? It's all the Baroness ever screamed about while she was torturing the poor bastard she brought down here.
You mind telling me about it?
Well, that depends. That's where my memory enters what you call a gray area.
How gray?
Navy blue. But it might get a little more beige if you do us a solid.
What is it you want us to do so that you'll tell us about the book?
We need you to hit somebody for us, and it needs to be a real message job. Pyewacket, the Baroness's cat, lives near the kitchen. You take her out, and maybe we can do some business.
You want me to kill a defenseless little kitty?
Defenseless, She's 20 pounds of pure feline killing machine. She's too much for any of my capos to handle. We even brought in a specialist from Sicily. After Pyewacket was finished with him, all that was left was a single foot.
I guess this Pyewacket likes Italian.
You take care of this little problem for us and bring a collar as proof the deed was done. We'll tell you what you need to know to get to the Book of Shrouds. I will tell you this much. To find the Book of Shrouds, you're going to have to gain access to the Baroness's secret laboratory, which is only accessible through the library. Now that's all I'm going to tell you until you bring me the cat's collar.
All right, fine. Kill a defenseless little kitten and bring back the collar as proof.
Yeah, that's it. You have any more questions for me, sweet cheeks?